think that the course definitely favors big distance, and a distance sidearm like what Kristin and Holyn have is essential on some holes to score.
It's hard to say whether or not Paige is feeling pressure at home in a course where everyone expects her to do well, whereas Kristin has made it clear in both her pre-round interviews and her performance at Waco that she's not feeling any pressure at all to perform, because she just came back from a surgery. She didn't get as much practice as she wanted in the off season, so however she finishes, she's happy as long as she stuck to her game plan.
She just has the game plan and can execute the shots every time. And if she happens to not execute, which is so rare, it doesn't really faze her and she can stay in it.
I think I had to do an interview about this recently, or talk about why is Kristin good, and I started just with the normal stuff. She can throw a distance backhand. She has a great sidearm. She's really good at approaches. She has a great standstill putt. She can straddle putt and stagger putt. And then all of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm listing off every part of disc golf and she's good at all of them.
Holyn, she's got the full package. She has a lot of shots similar to Ella Hansen. She's got the big backhand, the big forehand. She can make big putts. She has it all. I think we're just waiting for her to fully put it together. Holyn is totally capable of winning an elite series, and I think everyone's just waiting for it. Missy does tend to play a little bit more of like a clean, well-rounded, maybe slightly less flashy game, though she does have that, 375 perfectly accurate distance, which is what this course takes. So I think that Missy maybe has a little less room for error than the other ladies, but she also might get into less trouble, and she can hit putts from anywhere.
I think Missy has more experience winning, and I think she has more experience with different conditions because she's been on tour for longer, and so I think that's her leg up. This is primo real estate for Paige, and she's probably feeling very comfortable, whereas a lot of people maybe aren't feeling that way.
Statistically, Kristin does better if she's in the lead. She just has such a high standard of play for herself that she just needs to go out and execute the game plan, and she could definitely win. Paige has some of the most intense focus of anyone I've ever seen. When the pressure's on, it's like that's when she's alive. She can just hone in and battle better than anyone else. I mean, that's why she's won 5 world championships. So I think this is the battle everyone has wanted, and I think it's going to be incredibly interesting and close the entire time.
Hello and welcome to the final round of the Open at Austin presented by Lone Star Discs. We got 18 holes and we have a tight battle at the lead. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the two hot geese.
Honk. I'm hyped. I just hyped myself
yeah,
up.
I know. I love that. I love the hype pieces. Like, I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Oh, we have the most beautiful, calm, perfect day ever. Sunshine, no clouds. Warmed up quite a bit, still a little chilly in the morning, but we're going to play the exact same course at Harvey Penick. Brand new tournament layout just for this year, so we're all still kind of learning the course, but yeah, some Texas golf.
Yeah, and we saw already a tight battle with Paige and Kristin yesterday. Paige getting just one stroke lead very patiently throughout the round. Let's take a look at some stats here. Paige, 33%, landing in the circle. That's amazing. Keeping it inbounds, super high putting percentage as well.
Yeah, thanks to UDISC for these awesome stats, showing us that Kristin is second in fairway hits at 79% on this very OB-ridden golf course, and 33% first place at Circle 1 in regulation. She is finding the green from the tee.
And 14 strokes tee to green as well.
Insane.
Holyn Handley, we're going to be seeing more and more of her, I think. Look at this, 17% parked. She's got that distance. Great putting, great birdie percentage. It's going to be a joy to watch. Look at Missy's smile.
Missy Gannon ain't no slouch. First place in Circle 2 putting. So even if she's not getting all the way there, she is putting the disc in the basket. Scramble percentage as well, first place. So she gets her way out of trouble when she does find it. Hole 1, 600 feet downhill. We have a different basket from the men. There's out of bounds all the way down the left and right hand side, but instead of just throwing one single shot to the green, to this basket right here, we have another shot to this basket a little bit further down the hill where the OB pinches a little bit tighter. Sidearm is the most ideal play to get there, but you can throw really anything. A backhand turnover works fine as well. The landing zone's pretty lumpy, so if you don't land softly, you can definitely catch a roll and go out of bounds left.
Paige going Zeus forehand. Great shot. Do you feel like nervous, like jittery?
It's just crazy.
Excited to watch.
It's crazy how silent it is too. Like I'm used to the flags just like rumpling.
That's true. You can hear your thoughts.
Yeah, this never happens on this course, or so we haven't seen it since the practice days.
Yeah, I'm curious how the stats will measure up. Like yesterday wasn't too bad, but today really is ideal. It was a nice day to play disc golf. Nice day to throw forehands. Great one from Holyn.
This has played as one of the top 5 most difficult holes the last 2 days, but today it's in one of the 5 easiest holes, so quite the flip-flop. Nice. Everyone figuring it out and realizing that this is the play.
Missy going to be a little too tight and drop pretty early, taking birdie out of play. She doesn't look mad, though.
We don't see Missy throw a ton of sidearms, and we get to see her throw 2 in a row right now.
Missy shot 2 down yesterday. She did get 5 birdies, but found some bogeys as well. Super hard to keep it all the way clean out here. That was a great recovery sidearm.
Or just weekend.
Holyn shot 3 down yesterday with 6 birdies. I wonder if anyone can... what's the best score so far? Oh, Holyn out of bounds. 6 under.
Yep, Katrina with the hot round yesterday, and also I guess technically the course record.
Yeah,
currently.
Right. So I would be surprised if someone didn't beat that today. Actually,
me too. Paige turning one over, but the tree helps her stay in bounds. Kristin, the only one looking like she can get to the green on our lead card. She comes in a little hot though and finds OB right around circle's edge.
Interesting. Missy with some work left to do here. Throwing a 3rd forehand. You don't usually see Missy go forehand, forehand, forehand.
This might be the first time ever.
But maybe she should do it more often. Mm-hmm. That was great.
Paige giving it a long bid. She'll check up inside the bullseye for par.
Holyn to save par, just one step inside the circle. Jam.
And what a way to start on hole 1, hitting a big tester putt like that to save par. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Get that ball rolling.
Kristin from a similar spot to save her par. Low.
Mm-hmm.
And nice putt from Missy. I said in that hype piece, if Missy wants to win, we just need to put like $10,000 more on the line, and then she'd do it. Big money Missy.
Big money Missy. She sees dollar signs and she makes birdies.
Wow, what a clean release from Holyn there. So much spin on her putts.
And we're...
Surprising start.
Yeah, we're going to start out with Paige gaining a stick and the lead.
Hole 2 is a par 4, 690 feet, OB on the left. Little hazard bunker. That is a huge mistake if you land in there. Most women going to land about 3/4 up on the fairway and try to cross in 2. You can see how the OB line wraps to the left side of the screen, also OB. And just look at the gray. That's OB. I'm going to stop saying OB and just look at what it is. It's a very tight landing zone. It just really pinches tighter and tighter as you get closer.
So the elite FPO are probably going to be putting their second shot on the green. Mid-level FPO were landing a little bit more right over the green sometimes, and that landing zone is so small, so this hole can find a lot of trouble. It played as the 4th most difficult hole.
Yeah, it's a good separator as far as showing who the distance throwers are, because if you can throw a slower speed disc on your second shot, it's a massive advantage.
Yep.
This is a bit of a mistake, pulling it right, but it's kind of the safer way to play it. Holyn skipping back in rather than hyzering out too early.
God, that was close.
It was close. Well, we saw that yesterday. Henna, it did the same thing, but she got caught on the outside of the wall and was out of bounds. Missy with a similar story, a little too overturned, but safe. And from where Missy is, you can still get there, but you're basically just cutting the hole in two, and it'll likely be like a distance driver shot.
It's the second shot is scary though, because you're throwing out of
bones.
Throwing over bones most of the way. So you will have to take the disc back if you do not cross in. It makes for a little bit of a scary shot.
Kristin just going kind of safe hyzer. Paige the only one with a really huge shot. I actually expected Holyn and Kristin to maybe get a little closer.
Missy crosses out of bounds right there and will not come back in until the very end, but she makes it in.
Beautiful shot.
Oh, and gets close to that little pinched out of bounds corner.
Did she make it in the circle, or is she circle 2?
Circle 2, I believe.
Yeah. Kristin gonna throw a little bit more of a hyzer line.
And if that
This
sits
needs to
down,
bite, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Lucky.
Oh. What a friendly little tree.
It was this. Oh, was it the tree? I thought it was the stake.
Holyn going way wide.
Too wide.
Yeah, that looks like it's pushing too far straight.
That out of bounds line that we see is actually for the other hole.
Oh,
Yep.
that
hole
almost
3.
made it back in.
She's gonna have to take it back pretty far.
Paige taking a more direct route.
Yeah, look at this little fierce upshot. Leaves it just a touch short, but you'd take that every time, I think. I'd take it every time anyway.
Holyn again from the short side of the green. Still
Way
having to
short.
cross.
She barely advanced.
Throwing a nice controlled shot. Unfortunately pinned up behind the tree, but she will be in putting range. Missy from circle 2 for birdie.
She made a bunch of circle 2 putts yesterday. It's kind of the Missy show.
And here she goes again
Missy
today.
show. Let's see that slow Mez.
That was a full flight.
Yeah, it did. It like flex.
Watch this. Hyzer flip to flat. Turn and fade into the chains.
Awesome. Do you think she has a little more wobble on her putts this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like its own style.
Yes.
But it works.
Is it a secret that we need to figure out? How do we wobble our putts?
Yeah. Kristin from 40-ish for birdie.
Just a little low.
And Paige looking to get another stroke. Leaves it short left. Dang, that's going to be a double bogey for Holyn.
51% of the field taking a bogey or worse on hole 2. This is one of the toughest holes on the course. You guys can see why. There were only 7 birdies on the day out of 53 competitors.
I do like this one. I just wish there was a little bit more room to land safely on the green. Like the OB wasn't quite as tight.
Yeah, if you don't have that max distance, there is really nothing for you.
Missy, though.
Jumping up into 3rd place. Getting that big old birdie putt to drop. Paige still holding on to her lead, 2 strokes over Kristin. The old double Mando hole. It's a 350, but it's pretty tough to get there for most of the FPO field. These lead card ladies do have some pretty awesome distance though, so we might see them get there. There's out of bounds along the right-hand side that can come into play if you turn your wrist and flip the disc over or push too far straight. The basket's on a little hill that is just the absolute perfect angle for rollaways. So you got to be really careful when you're approaching the green or if you miss a putt.
I think the reason this one's a bit hard to reach is because you are trying to get there on like a straight to hyzer shot. Ooh, Missy, really early and out of bounds.
Oh, man.
Like, you don't really see the flex line big distance play. You're just trying to get there on a straight or pure hyzer line. Oh, no. Oh. Paige made it? Did she?
I think she made it. But dang, that is back to back. Oof. That is bizarre.
Yeah, the gap is big enough where, I don't know, I don't think you're really too worried about hitting it.
These are weird shots to watch because they're
not good.
No, they are bad.
They're like laughing at themselves.
Yeah, because this is atypical.
Here we go.
This is... Holyn's like, I'll show you guys how to do this. Wow, and did she get
really
circle
does.
one?
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
So good.
Yeah, that was an ESP force.
So we saw 3. Oh, maybe she didn't make it.
No, just a retee. Huh. Wild.
And then
so good.
Are you kidding me? Parking it. Yesterday, I want to say yesterday let me look this up before I say it. In round 2, we only had 2 birdies and only 1 person getting to circle 1. We just watched Holyn and Paige get to circle 1 today. Unbelievable.
Missy throwing a little hyzer shot, getting into the circle.
Did Kristin find out of bounds as well, or did she check up on the drive? Oh, that's her second shot.
That's her second shot, yeah.
There's a little out of bounds line right there on the woods line that pulls away as you get close to the basket.
Oh, Holyn actually just outside the circle. And she'll have a circle's edge comebacker almost. The problem with this one, too, is if you leave it low or hit metal, you can roll. So you really want to give it the height.
She looks comfy, though.
Mm-hmm. Probably should have made the putt before talking smack to the card. That's how I always feel. Every time I talk trash, I'm terrible.
It's still worth it.
Missy saving bogey.
15% of the field taking birdies today. That is
nice.
Astronomically higher than we've seen in the past couple of days. A lot of big arms on the list.
Yeah, it's nice to see this course play how it's supposed to. Like round 1 was just kind of a rough go for everybody in the high wind conditions.
And then round 2, we were all just in shock, trying to process what had happened the day before.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness. It's safe. Right on the line. She's going to have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 4. Loose rocks, big snakes. You're thrown over the ditch. You're trying to avoid this green. There's left side OB too. If you can kind of wrap the corner a little bit like these ladies can do, your second shot, you're just trying to get as close to the mouth of this gap as possible. There's OB left that kind of widens as you get closer. And then it's just a little 200-ish foot tunnel shot to the pin back there. 888 feet. Definitely birdieable, especially with the wind being down. It's been kind of a headwind here as soon as you wrap the corner the last few days. I think we'll see some birdies.
But it's like an invisible wind because you can't see it.
Isn't all wind invisible?
Uh-huh. We have no flags.
That's a beautiful shot from Kristin.
This played is the most difficult hole of the day, largely in part due to the invisible wind on this tee shot. No, it's a really tough landing zone. But these ladies are not going to make that obvious at all because they are all throwing over the part that you're worried about, which is the green, and then that woods line on the left that you can easily hyzer and skip into. Sneaky distance, Missy. Huge.
Yeah, great shot. Missy will have to deal with the hillside footing, though, which can make the next shot just a bit awkward.
Paige, monster crushing.
Just an enormously ridiculous drive.
That's so good.
Think of synonyms for big, quick.
Massive, gigantic, enormous.
Missy with a Zeus, I believe. Looking good.
Kristin with a nice little skip at the end as well. Man, Holyn way down there.
Yeah, even farther than I thought.
She's maybe trying to get into the mouth of the gap.
Uh-huh. It looks like it, doesn't it? Wow.
That's great.
I mean, she's still a little short and definitely a little tucked on that corner, but just the distance alone is pretty unbelievable.
Paige going big high-Z. Looking for some ground play. And she's almost into the wood chips.
Yeah, there's actually a little gap where she is, where she could definitely attack from there. Super difficult to get a birdie look from way back here. Missy early.
And that can be brutal in there.
It's low ceiling and a pretty difficult angle from where Missy was. And then here, it doesn't quite shape for the backhand, so I like the turnover forehand from Kristin. Gets to circle 2.
There's lots of wood chips and little stumpies on these wooded holes, so it can be really tough to rely on much ground action. Holyn doing some course maintenance.
Wow, Paige with just a wide open 170-foot look.
Oh my, she goes deep.
It's probably the easiest upshot anyone's had.
She's one of only 2 people getting to circle 1 in regulation.
Great upshot from Missy there. I'm pretty sure, didn't Lisa have a throw-in on this one?
Today?
Was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was
I
yesterday.
think she birdied it from like the gap, the mouth of the gap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kristin with a long birdie look.
Good run.
God, right on top of the cage. Holyn catching the last guardian tree before the basket. But still making good on the par.
It's weird that Holyn's 2 over because she's playing pretty well. Like her putts look good. She's had a lot of great throws.
Dang, Paige with the birdie.
Yeah, another stroke.
One of only 2 on the day. Ella Hansen getting the other 4. So we got to watch one. Par was good here. 40% of the field getting par, but that always feels good. That birdie is just barely out of reach.
Not for Paige.
Not for Paige.
She gets her 2-stroke lead back.
Missy hanging on in 3rd place, just 3 strokes behind Kristin.
Yeah, Holyn still tied for 4th.
We see a little bit of spacing in our lead card happening. Hole 5, 355 feet, very slightly uphill. There's this out-of-bounds green that you have to carry over at the very end of your flight when everything's slowing down. You also would like it to check up ideally just before the out-of-bounds line on the tree line behind the basket. The elevated pin makes for some interesting putting. We saw a lot of people bailing out to the left or right on this, but I think we'll see everyone go for it today.
Yeah, but we haven't really seen anyone park it.
Nope, we have not. It's been a lot of layups, approaches, or long putts.
Solid looking shot from Paige. Hyzers it to just outside the circle on the left side. That was a Zeus. Kristin, yep, with that bailout play.
Yeah, pretty similar to the last couple days.
Just not messing around.
Holyn looking like she's just trying to lay up to the right side. Oh, nope. I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was a force, and
she really has to play with that bunker taking that line.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a little wider than she wanted.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no disc stable enough for Holyn Handley. We'll never know. And Missy with a thrasher, throwing a tricky little flexi shot.
So good.
Nice, Missy.
Just exactly what you need. Kristin just laying up, settling for par, sticking with her game plan we've seen her use the last 2 rounds.
Holyn with a decent bid. Leaves it to about 15 feet.
Paige from just outside circle 1.
Looking to get another stroke on Kristin. Ah, so close.
Aww. These baskets do not love the right side.
No, they really don't.
Like, they love that little flip out.
Yeah, that triple ring configuration really makes it so you gotta hit dead center. Or maybe just a little right.
Yeah, a little right's okay. But no more than that.
Yeah, one link maybe. Holyn gonna take the bogey. Pars for everyone else.
Only 6 birdies on the day from FPO. And we see Holyn falling back just a little bit to a tie for 5th place at 3 over par, but it's still tight at the top. And these holes are just like every course we play where you can birdie or bogey every hole so quickly.
Hole 6 is just the biggest hyzer in the entire world, 316 feet. No real out of bounds to worry about. We've seen, 2 birdies, but they were both outside circle 2, I believe.
Throw-ins, yeah.
So, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. This Guardian Tree is very effective at its job as well. It's really good at taking your approach shots and throwing them straight down into circle 2 and giving you a really great tester putt.
Definitely the high spiky line is how you get as close as possible. Nice.
Wow.
That's huge. Wow.
Wow.
A lot of women with a little bit less distance than that are going to throw more like this line, what we're seeing from Kristin, flatter, and you leave yourself like 100 feet maybe for the upshot. And the camera person, hopefully they're fine.
Kristin's still smushing that disc though, getting way down there. It's just so hard to get your disc to carry straight and go as far left as you want it to go.
Missy giving it some nice height. She gets nearly to circle 2. Holyn just gonna take to the sky here. Doesn't. Wow.
That's
okay.
great.
That's fantastic. She looked like not maybe happy with it for a second.
So only 1 person made it to circle 1 in regulation, and only 3 or 4 people made it to circle 2 in regulation. So these
Still
are
better than the last 2 days.
Yeah, these are some great shots we're watching on our lead card.
Kristin just gonna lay up. Again, you can't really make Kristin stray from her game plan. Like some people get tempted, you know, and she's like, nope, just gonna.
This is what works.
Do what I've always done.
Paige from circle 2. Ooh. Just barely over the top of the cage, but it gets nubbed.
Paige so close on the last 2 big putts.
Holyn trying to bounce back from the bogey on hole 5. Good run. There were no birdies on the day today. No throw-ins. And that's hole 6 for you.
Yep. Par, 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 par.
Yeah, the toughest 315 feet you ever did see.
Checking in, Katrina Allen, hanging on to 4th there. Jessica Weiss moving up. Henna Blomroos 5 down. Maria 7 down through 11.
Wow.
Sayananda and Kat Murch 4 down.
Maria making a huge push in the front. Wow.
Why disc golf? It's the people. It's fun.
It's the lucky shots.
It's the feeling.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or 2, and let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
Hole 7, 340 feet and much more attackable than our shorter hole 6 counterpart that we just left. I like a big turnover line or maybe a flex shot. We did have a bit of a headwind, so you have to be careful with that because that woods line on the right can get you real quick. You don't want to accidentally thrower one or mess around with the roller because all of those bunkers on the left-hand side of the green can come into play really quickly and make for some really tough recovery putts.
We've seen some sidearms here as well. Keeping it out left is kind of the mistake to make, like you said, Matt, not messing with the right side, but these bunkers can come into play. Mm-hmm. Paige not happy with it, but she's in circle 2.
Kristin pulling out the sidearm like she has the last couple rounds.
Yep. She's been working this grand drive all weekend long.
Uh-oh.
Huh. 2 straight. She's going to be in the hazard bunker, putting for par from circle 2.
All the distance she needed, just a little left.
Yeah, she put just a bit more turn on it than we've seen. Or maybe there's an invisible wind out there.
We'll never know. Missy throwing that turnover shot, getting just a step outside circle 1. And birdie looks are great on hole 7 because it's a tough one to approach in any sort of wind. Holyn, huge sidearm.
Yeah. Gets to just outside the circle.
Only 4 people got inside the circle for birdie in FPO, so these are some good-looking shots. Circle 2 is a good place to be.
Paige up first for her birdie bid. Yeah, give it to her. Third tries the charm here.
She better not hit that cage again.
I love when the fist bump goes up before it actually goes in the basket.
Oh, that was such a huge putt. And Kristin's in the bunker too, so what? That's a tough par answer.
Missy.
Just feeding off of it. Yay, 2 slow mezzes in 1 hole. Come on. Oh, yeah.
Wow. 2 big putts so far for Missy. Wow. Kristin, no birdies so far and fallen behind here. It's going to be a 4-stroke difference all of a sudden.
Yeah, Kristin looking like she's feeling a little flat today.
Holyn just doing amazing things.
Yes.
Even though her score's not that amazing yet, her skills are evident.
3 huge putts on hole 7.
And she looks so casual when she makes them.
She does. It looks very easy. And yeah, all of a sudden Paige has a 4-stroke advantage over Kristin in 2nd place.
Hole 8, you are shooting through this little gap here. Usually you see kind of a flip-up backhand. I'm not sure that we've actually seen any forehands here, but that's definitely a viable play. The basket is tucked in the woods here a little bit. Again, we're in the middle of the course. It's a little bit of a breather, less OB to worry about, but these are kind of the must-get birdies.
This one's tough because if you do turn your disc over, it can be really tough to approach the basket. But if you hyzer one out, that wind tends to push it left and leaves you with a longer putt. So it's kind of a, what risk do you want to take here?
Paige taking very little risk with her buzz there.
Yeah, nice. The slow disc helps a lot with the ground play.
Just went so straight. Beautiful flight. Missy going Thrasher. Pretty.
I mean, that disc is like an extension of her.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Just parked.
Holyn going glow buzz, turning it over, but has a little bit of stability and makes it close to the circle.
Yeah, checks up before she goes too deep in the shoal on the right side. It can be tricky to putt from there.
We're almost done with the front nine here. Kristin really needs to get her round going to challenge Paige. That's going to come up short. And Kristin just choosing to lay up. Not what I was expecting.
No, I was expecting a little bit of a tighter battle. We do have 9 more holes.
Oh my gosh! Handley.
Look at her. Battling.
Let's see this. Look at this wide straddle.
And hyzering around the tree.
Oh my gosh, I was so close to that tree.
Man, that's such a good putt.
Sweet, and that's 2 birdies in a row for Holyn.
And 2 super solid long putts.
I think she has like 2 feet of straddle on me. Like we were both to try to make the same putt around a tree.
Oh no, Paige catching the band high. Par's okay though.
And Missy with the absolute tap in. All right, Missy and Kristin now tied with that birdie from Missy.
Yeah, Missy and Holyn both going 2 in a row so far, and there's only more birdies to be had in the next 3 or 4 holes. They're gettable. Hole 9, 315 feet. There's a mando tree on the right-hand side, but no out of bounds on the left-hand side. So feel free to get aggressive as long as you make that mando tree. A lot of people will bail out to the left in that little dirt area. But I think we're going to see some slower speed discs at only 315 feet from our lead card. This played as the second easiest hole of the day, with a quarter of the field finding circle 1 for birdie.
Missy up first, throwing the flip up. She's going to drift a little more to the left than you'd ideally like. She'll have maybe a long circle 2 look. I'm not sure if she's in that tree line.
Holyn throwing that buzz again, it looks like. Getting a lot of turn on it. She's going to be out wide to the right in circle 2 as well.
Paige, oh, early.
Bit of a misfire.
She should be able to kind of step out forehand, I think. All right, doors open for Kristin to get one back. That looks pretty. Opto Explorer.
Leaving it a little short, but
Just a circle's edge, I think.
pretty line. Paige does manage to get out of the shrubbery, but forced to straddle out on a knee. What a great recovery shot.
Yeah. Really great control there from Paige. Kristin for her first birdie of the day. Dang. And she was a little farther back than I thought. Missy, can she get the turkey? No.
Holyn for the only birdie on lead card.
Oh, I thought she was going to do it.
Man, that's a shocker to not see anyone get some green on this hole. It was the second easiest hole of the day.
I think between the last 8, 9, and 10, like you got to get at least one of them, but ideally 2. Yeah. And that is a surprising miss from Kristin.
Yeah.
She's just not looking...
Just a little off today.
Yeah. Just, it's weird to see. Paige saving par there after being early left.
Kristin having to settle for bogey.
3 up on the front 9.
Missy and Paige both make good for their par, and Holyn will likely do the same from just outside bullseye.
I like the qualifier, okay, just in case she misses that one.
Yeah. You can never be sure.
Unfortunately, we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
And that wraps up the front 9. Missy overtaking Kristin for second. She's four strokes back from Paige. Kristin's 5 back. Holyn moving down to 6th, but getting a few birdies towards the end of the back.
Yeah, and even though Holyn's score doesn't look great, she's still playing super confident.
Yep.
Super awesome to watch her not look real nervy out there at all. Katrina Allen jumps up into a tie for 4th place with Jessica Weiss, overtaking Holyn, both of them under par right now. That's super important on this course, especially on a calm day like today.
Henna and Sayananda moving up with a 5 down. Kat Murch 4 down. Maria Oliva 5 down. Lots of movement.
Yep, moving day is Sunday now, folks. To be in the top 10, it looks like 10 over in the last 3 days is what it takes. One of the harder courses we've played this year, that is for sure,
definitely.
Especially with the conditions. We got 9 more holes thanks to our Founders Club, and we hope you guys will come watch the FPO seal the deal here at Harvey Penick Course. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.